Hello, my name's Andy Platts and I'm from the Bite the Bullet barbecue team. I'm one of the competition teams that compete regularly in the British Barbecue Society Pitmaster range of competitions. Today we're not going to do anything overly sophisticated. We're just going to go for a very simple, very quick, easy to do beer can chicken. Beer can chicken is the staple for most barbecuers that have kettle style barbecues. What we're going to do today is simply take a normal chicken, some off the shelf barbecue seasoning. The Schwartz ones that you can get from most supermarkets are fantastic. We've got a range of beers. We don't specifically brand any of the beers that we use, but if anybody wants to send us some, then they're quite welcome to. And we're just going to use a little bit of olive oil. Fairly simply, we're going to sprinkle the olive oil, or drizzle the olive oil over the chicken and rub that in. I've double gloved, so I can take a pair of gloves off and it'll make it easier for me to get the rub onto the chicken. So I'm going to rub that and work that olive oil in nice and firmly so that the rub will stick to the skin of the chicken. And work all that olive oil in there. You don't need too much olive oil. If you use too much olive oil, it will tend to run off and then you lose a lot of the rub. So as I've said before, I've double gloved, which makes it a lot easier for me just to move on to my rub. Now I'm going to use the Perfect Shake no added salt chicken rub, and all we do from here is we sprinkle the chicken rub over the chicken and we rub that in and we'll work it into all of the little nooks and crannies of the chicken. Say one of these is ample for a full chicken, and we're just going to get that rubbed in everywhere, nice and firm, especially over the breast of the chicken and round the wings. A lot of people like the wings once they've come off. So, they're all rubbed in there. All worked in. Okay, so the next step is to apply the beer can. There's a number of different types of cans that you can go for. What I've done here is I've got two cans of different sizes, and generally what we find when we're using different styles of barbecues is the height from the top of the lid to the cooking grate can vary greatly, and that can have quite a big impact on which can you use. In many circumstances people opt for the smaller 330ml cans. You can use anything, you don't have to use beer, you can go for a pop, you can go for a lemonade, you can empty the can out and just use water if you need to. Some people sprinkle seasoning into the can. I don't particularly think it makes a huge amount of difference, to be honest, with the seasons in the can, but there's a much broader debate on the internet about that. So in this particular case, what we're going to do is open a can and pour half off. It's a little bit early in the morning for me to be drinking, but ordinarily I would pour half off, drink half, and apply the other half. Okay, so it's important to note that the can's been opened, and from here all we're going to do is place the can inside the chicken, and as you can see the can forms the stand of the chicken. Chuck the wings behind, and there we have beer can chicken. And that's a firm enough platform for the chicken to stand unassisted on the cooking grate. What I do, because I like to keep my grill as nice and tidy as possible, is I generally use a little foil tray. That little foil tray can be used on your grill to catch all of the drippings that run out. Some people use the drippings for barbecue sauce and make a stock out of it. I tend to just use it to keep my grill clean. From there we're going to put this onto the grill. Now if I move over to the grill now, we're notice that the charcoal configuration on this particular grill is what we call indirect. This is a Weber Ranch kettle. It's much larger than what the average barbecuer is likely to have in their back garden. However, the configuration of the coals can be done in exactly the same way. We have what we call indirect barbecuing, which means we have lit coals all the way down one side of the barbecue. That can be done in a number of different ways. You can have, here we've got a 2-zone fire, which means we have the hot charcoals down the one side providing the direct heat, and then we have a cool zone to the left of the coals. You can have a 3-zone fire, which basically means you have a charcoal configuration down one side and then down the other, which means you have 2 hot zones and a cool spot in the middle. So from here, all we're going to do is close the lid and leave the chicken on there for around about 1 hour and 30 to 40 minutes. We always take the appropriateness of getting the chicken off the grill based on its food temperature. We like to use thermopens. There's lots of different models out there, but for us, speed is the key. So from here, we're just going to leave this on and close the lid. About an hour and 40 minutes. We're just going to take a look at it, take it off the grill, which is a bit of an art on its own. So here we have the beer can chicken, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tongs, and I've double gloved to try and get this off with relative ease. Okay. What we'll do is we use the double gloves as a means of insulation so we don't burn ourselves, and you can see there, look at the juices running out of that chicken, absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to turn around here, get my tray and bring it over. As you can see with this chicken, it's just pulling apart beautifully. The meat is really tender, really juicy, and the skin is beautiful and crispy. You can hear that crackling as I pull that apart. That is a beer can chicken, and your guests will love you forever for introducing you to this. Nice and simple, Schwartz rub, can of beer, barbecue. Brilliant.